Dog Films presents Paid to Dream with Charles Dennis.
Hello. Here we are with a special Halloween edition of Paid to Dream. And I'm wearing my Halloween colors, and I have, well, she's not a vampire and she's not a witch, but she has been an alien for a long time. In more
I'm a bit
ways
of a vamp,
than one.
but
Here is Michele Scarabelli.
Ciao, bello. Just coming back from my,
Che pasa, mama?
well, I don't know how much longer I can wear these
No, you can
feathers.
take it off now. You've done your Halloween moment.
Okay. There
There
we
we
go.
go. There she is.
C'est moi.
Oui, oui.
I'm gonna.
The one and only. So here's a little something I pulled out of the Wayback Machine.
Oh dear God.
The
Yeah,
only time I was ever mistaken for Tarzan.
Oh,
And look at Jane. Hooah. That's a long time ago. In
God.
Zihuatanejo,
40?
Mexico.
40 years?
Plus,
Yeah. Let's leave it at 40's enough.
why not? What were you doing there?
I was shooting a fashion editorial spread for some magazine that's long gone. Yeah. I'm going to try and shut off my. How do I turn off my side? I just want to see you. How do I do that?
I have no idea. Why don't you slide back a little bit? You've got like a giant close-up. There you go. It's much better for
Well, along with photos, I pulled these out last week because I had empty frames, and I went, oh wait a minute, Janet Leigh
Oh,
playing, the femme of the last few decades, the mother of what's her face, and and there's Hugh Cronin
yes.
from that wonderful MOW I shot with him in Toronto.
It's amazing the number of people that we both have worked, because my first TV movie was called Mirror, Mirror and starred Janet Leigh.
Ah.
And I went on the set one day, and Janet Leigh turned to the director and she said, "Can I change this line?" And I thought, well, here I am, the writer. Nobody gave a shit. She did it. I said, I'm going to leave now.
Yeah. Well,
And
you know what they
and
say.
Hume was a dear friend. I just loved him.
He was a character. Chased me around the set for
Yeah,
about
yeah.
a week.
And
But I still learned a lot from him. And
Oh yeah.
he was, he was an amazing talent. He was from Canada as well.
He's from London, Ontario. As he said to me one day, because when Hume was a kid and went down to New York to crack the theater there, he stayed at the Waldorf Astoria. Now, how many struggling actors in the Depression stayed at the Waldorf Astoria? I said, what was the, who was giving you, he said, mother was a Labatt.
For anybody who doesn't know
you
Labatt,
can't get more Canadian. Can't
Yeah.
get more Canadian than Labatt's, can you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Janet Leigh your mother in something?
I did a series in Africa. I had a series in Africa that I shot for 2 years in South Africa, actually, on and off. And I played a woman who inherited a wildlife reserve. And at one point, my mother visited.
Okavango.
Okavango, I shot, yes. It was for the FX channel back in the early 90s. That feels just a few years ago, oddly.
Yeah.
But Janet came and she was recovering she was tiny, very tiny, like size 2, smaller than I was. Certainly smaller than I am now, but anyway. Yeah, she spent 2 weeks with us. It was, she was frail, but you know, didn't miss a beat, showed up early, you know. Yeah.
Wasn't her first time in Africa either. She did a picture with Victor Mature in the 50s.
Ah,
Can't remember the
probably
name.
not South Africa at the time.
No. Now, was apartheid over? Oh, good.
Oh yeah, no, we wouldn't have been shooting. No, in the early night, it was just after Mandela had been released, and the elections were about to happen. So it was, you know, I went down there as a kind of Pollyannish Canadian, and the producer would go to his safe. We'd be going out for dinner. The producer would go to his safe to bring out the guns and pack, and I was like, oh, guns, guns. Oh no, we can't have guns. Second week I was there, after seeing how things lay of the land and how everybody kind of did need guns, I was going to got your gun on you, because, you know, before we went anywhere. It was dicey. It still is, pretty much, from what I heard.
Were you scared?
No. You know, when you're shooting, I mean, I was in 154 working days out of 156 and a half. I was in, and I had chunks, because we were working with a lot of animals and a couple of kids, among other things. And I seemed to be just constantly, let me turn off the sound there. I was just on, and we were alternating 2-day weekends and 1-day weekend. So 6-day work days versus 6 and 5. And you really understand after several months of that why we have 2-day weekends. Not just to get your laundry done and have a day of rest. It was just, I was limp. So I didn't have time to go, you know, what's going on here? And every day would be another, because the producer, Wayne Crawford,
Who was also the star?
who's also played my husband, the star, also directed a lot of them. Way too much on his plate, but he was used to doing film and not television, and there's a difference in how you frame and everything else.
Crank it out.
Well, what it was, just visually, he wanted animals. He wanted to show high production value and wanted animals in almost every shot, and vistas and that kind of thing, which you don't really need. You can do a few shots with animals and kids, whatever, but type 2 close-ups, or, you know, just, especially this dialogue, you don't need all of those accoutrements that you might need in a broader screen, on a broader screen. So I found myself with pages of dialogue about, you know, important issues like colonial attitudes in Africa in the 50s, and how we were trying to do something different, you know, that kind of like momentous, while I was feeding ostriches and they were pecking at my hands, or while I was walking the pig, the, you know, pot-bellied pig, who had to interact with me. Every time I said a word, the pig would, because they're very smart animals, he thought he had to respond. So it became a 3-way conversation with the friggin' pig, who was ad-libbing his lines as we walked from the, you know, giraffe pen to the lion's den, that kind of thing going on. So, yeah.
He didn't want to be an under 5. He wanted billing. He wanted...
The pig wanted billing. Afterwards, we just kind of went, okay, you know what?
Going back to Janet Leigh.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, you made your screen debut in a movie with her daughter.
Did I? What was it, Friday the 13th?
Prom night.
Oh, prom night. See, everybody goes prom night. I wasn't even thinking acting at that point. I think it was like almost, could have been a still shot of me putting on lipstick in the bathroom and giggling or something. I don't remember any of it. She wasn't in the scene. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
But everybody knows. It goes, oh, Scarabelli was in. I go, yeah, that was the alternate me, pre you
So
know,
this
actually,
was in your modeling days.
well, kind of on the cusp, you know, when you're first starting out as well, I was transitioning from psychology to modeling to then actually studying acting.
Now, were you
And
Dr.
then
Scarabelli?
no, 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 just
But
you
you
know,
did. You got a degree from
psycholing,
McGill in
yeah,
psychology.
in psycholinguistics, which is a study because Montreal, where I'm born and raised, is kind of a bastion of bilingualism. Uh, the study of that psycholinguistics in particular was something that was, you know, at the forefront of their psychology department, and I was interested because I had learnt French. That's after English, my mother tongue. I had moved on to Spanish when my family moved to Venezuela for a few years.
About to say, you're born and raised in Montreal, but there was a
There
segue
was a
in Venezuela.
segue for just a few years. I mean, I was two, but
Do you remember it at all?
very much verbal. This was post-verb, non-verbal. This was me not being able to shut it up, apparently, according to my parents. Oh, we couldn't get you to, you know, baby pictures of me with my mouth open. That's the best we could do, because you never shut up, just yakking away. But I wanted to go to scuola, as I called it, when I was 3, and school. And so my parents put me on the school bus, and I'd come home yakking away in Spanish. And then we moved back to Montreal when I was 5.
So
And
you have vivid memories of Venezuela.
not vivid. I mean, at this point, you know, I think in memory, you don't, after a while, you kind of go, was that a memory or just a memory of a memory I had? You know what I'm saying? I don't, you, Charles, for anybody who doesn't know Charles really well, Charles has an incredible memory, uh, and puts everybody else to shame. And he'll bring up stuff that just, you kind of go, oh God, I'm glad somebody remembers that. Much like my mother. My mother could remember up until a few months before she passed at almost 100. She remembers stuff from when she was 2, 3 years old. I,
I adored Grace. She's one of my favorite people. God,
what a character. She
what a
was
character.
amazing. She was amazing. And she adored you. She went, oh, how is Charles? That take you sent me for her 99th, I think it was, where you played, I don't know if we can play it here, but anyway, it was brilliant.
Was it?
It was some guy from Quebec doing the, hey, I never collected that money I gave you, and I don't remember. I'll
Oh
sing.
yeah, oh yeah. Well,
She went, but because she was, by 99, she was not quite all there, she'd listen to going, who is that? Didn't I pay him back? Or my brother was in stitches going, you're
oh,
very
I
good, it's
remember.
hilarious.
I
I'm like,
remember.
no, it's Charles Dennis pretending he's, Charles, did I give him money? No, mother, you didn't give Charles.
I'm
He's
so
not trying to
sorry.
collect. Well, pay him back, will you? No, no.
Your mother was just. I remember one Christmas she was down here, and the Perkins always had this friend of theirs who came to spend Christmas with them, Charlie Reed, whose name was Charles Chalmers. He was from Ottawa, and
Oh,
your mother latched on to Charlie. My God, the long lost friends. He'd never met her before, but you know.
oh, I'm having a wonderful time.
Oh yeah.
Remember when we met you in New York?
Oh,
So, so
and
you
we went
said
to that
you were going to have
Ziegler.
a book reading. She says, I'm gonna introduce you, dedicate it to your mother. So I told him, I went back to the Algonquin, whatever hotel we were staying at. I said, oh, Mom, Charles is going to do this thing. You know, he's going to introduce you. Oh, isn't that lovely? A few minutes, she goes, can we go? I went, well, yeah, that's why he's actually doing it, because that's what we're going to do. Like it would make sense for you to introduce if she wasn't even there. Anyway, yeah, she was a character.
She was in the armed forces.
Oh, she was. She was one of the last. In fact, just a few months before she passed, there was somebody who's been doing collecting all the stories, right up your alley, actually,
Yeah.
of the remaining, you know, men mainly who had served. But he suddenly realized, wait a minute, what about all the women who had served, who might still be alive, but hard to trace them because they'd been married and their names had changed. So somehow he came to my mom, and by then her memory had started to fade. But while she was in this senior home in Victoria, Canada, there had been a younger man who was there to recuperate from a motorcycle accident, who latched onto my mother and started recording all of her stories, and all of the ones that we'd grown really tired of hearing on a repeat,
Perfect. Let him listen.
Yeah, let him listen, and he recorded them, thank goodness. And
Oh.
so I sent that, yeah. So
So
there
you
was,
have that.
I have that. I
Oh, that's
downloaded
wonderful.
them all, and I sent them off to this kid in Ottawa who put. There's a war memorial. I forget the name of the Canadian War Memorial something museum in the Canadian history, Canadian Museum. I don't remember the name of it, in Ottawa. Um, so they now have video recordings of some of these people who have since passed, of Canada's contribution to World War II. Obviously not World War One because those guys are long gone, but yeah, it's part of that. My mom's stories.
So great. Well, my company is called Foo Dog Films, and I always refer to the Foo Dog family because I try to have everybody come. It's my own little film studio. People come back and do it, but you are the original Foo Dog family person from my first movie, from Reno and the
Oh
Dog,
God, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and you're also the only person left alive. I can't
I
believe it.
didn't want to say it, but yeah,
No,
yeah.
but I mean, but God bless her, Linda Griffiths was not old when she passed, and I
No,
think
she
she
was.
passed before Henry and Ken, you
Yeah,
know. But
yeah. She
my
was a.
fondest memory of that was a scene we shot in a bar somewhere, and you had to belch, and you
I
couldn't. You
couldn't.
tried so
I,
hard. Can you belch now? Did you?
no,
All
of
you
course
had
I'd have to eat something that would be, and then no, I can't belch on cue. I can cry on cue. I can certainly laugh hysterically on cue. I could scream on cue, but belching is,
I
that
had to dub your
bodily
belch.
functions. I'm sorry. You had to
I
do my.
had to dub your belch.
I hope you. I don't remember the details, but I hope you lowered the voice so it's a little less
I never
of
thought
a,
about a more feminine belch.
well,
I have to go
higher
back.
key anyway. I think it would.
And then wasn't long after that film that you came down to California, and it all
Yeah,
happens.
I stayed up, and you were very kind in letting me stay at Palo Vista.
That woman who came to visit, because she was a former Miss America something or other. Oh, and
I
we
don't
kept,
remember her.
oh, we had to put
In
her in another
another guest
room.
room? Well, thank God. Yeah, I wouldn't. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah. But then I'm trying to. What was the sequel? Was Alien Nation the first series, or was
no, Airwolf in Vancouver.
Oh, Airwolf? Right.
I mean,
And
I had moved from Montreal. I'd done a few films there. Moved to Toronto and shot a lot of episodic. That was, they were churning out a lot of those, you know, I mean, War of the Worlds, the Philip Marlowe series,
oh, and then
Hitchcock,
the one I don't want to bring it up, but I have to. the hitch, the Hitchhiker,
The
because
Hitchhiker. That was in Montreal, I think.
yes, but I remember turning on my TV here, and there was Robert Vaughn, and there
Ah,
was and there was Michelle standing behind him, not moving, but she was naked from the waist up, and I thought, oh, it's HBO. Back then, HBO's
yeah,
big claim to fame was we show boobs,
yeah,
and
right.
there
Big
you were,
deal.
and I thought, okay. All right, it's
They
enough.
had me, you want to hear, they had me reshoot because they liked my derrière more than my décolleté.
Poitrine.
Poitrine, way. Anyway, Robert Vaughn kept to himself. He was, those were the days. I think it was, the days of various soft, I wouldn't call them porn by
Yeah,
any
yeah.
means,
Oh,
but
yeah. Well, Robert Lantos,
I
Suzanne.
wasn't going to bring him up.
Well,
Yeah, I
someone should.
actually, yeah, I
But
didn't have to take
Suzanne,
my
wasn't
clothes
that
off.
around the same time?
Suzanne was just, yeah, probably around the same time. And then I
Yeah.
shot another film with Renee Bonnier that kind of launched me because Renee also cast for Lantos. We shot this film, Perfect Timing. No, maybe I forget. And then he cast me in this CBC movie of the week that I blanked now. What the heck was the name of it?
What's the
Anyway, we
one that
shot
you
in New
did
Brunswick,
with
and I
Fletcher
moved.
Markle's, the one with Fletcher Markle's son? What was that?
That was
Steven?
Perfect Timing.
That was Perfect Timing, right?
Yeah, but then afterwards I shot with you know, the creme de la creme Toronto. I mean, oh, gotta take that later. Yeah, and we shot in New Brunswick with a lot of people, Don Franks and, oh God, the lineup, Sheila McCarthy, uh, Booth Savage, not Booth Savage. Was it Booth Savage? Yeah, Booth Savage. Maury Chaikin, who's long gone, wonderful, wonderful actor. If you haven't seen him, check him out on various things. It's Diane Keaton, actually. Yeah,
George,
just a
George's nephew.
yes. So a wonderful cast, and that kind of got me moving from Montreal to Toronto. And then from there, I landed Airwolf, which was shooting in Vancouver. So we did season 4 of Airwolf because they canceled it in the States, but they wanted enough for syndication, so
And you
they
were the
went up.
link because you were Borgnine's niece.
Yes, well, that was the cheat. They had
Yeah.
a very large man in the background next to a chopper blow up. And they went, oh no, there goes, Uncle Joe, whatever his name was.
You mean it was supposed to be Borgnine and it wasn't?
And that was,
So you
and I
never
come
worked
running
with
out
him?
and they go, who the heck is this? I'm Joe Santini. I'm simplifying this. It was back in '86, so what was that? 39 years
People
ago.
were more accepting then.
Yes. And now, oddly, there's a big fan group. I haven't checked the first 3 years of Airwolf. They probably have their own group, but there's a season 4 Airwolf fan club on Facebook, and they post all kinds of stuff, little clips, and get us, the cast, whoever wants to contribute, to put in our 2 cents. And some guy from Korea actually has gone to a lot of where we flew to Canada and went to many of our shooting locations and post, like, here I am. These were
And,
these were
all,
sites that we'd kind of go, oh God, I'm glad I'm out of that swamp in Delta.
all those tax shelter movies we did in the 80s in Canada,
Yeah.
somebody called me and they did a podcast with me and they're raving about these movies that we did for, the one, the loose ends, whatever it was. Oh, Screwball
Oh,
Academy.
yeah, all of that stuff. Oh, they
And they're talking about it like they're real movies. And I'm like, oh my God, we've lived
yeah.
long enough to be establishment. It's weird. But
Yes, it's
listen,
we could
I'm
tour with
going
those.
along, and I know all the Alien Nation fans want to hear.
Oh, yes. So from there, I moved down to the States. Became a citizen for anybody who's looking for
From
papers.
ice, yes. You want ice in your drink?
I
Just not
have,
my own.
yeah, and then I did Dallas. I did Dallas. I did a recurring role, which was a lot of fun on
It
Dallas.
sounds like a porn movie.
I
Michelle
did
does
Dallas.
Dallas.
Scarabelli does Dallas. And then I landed Alien Nation, and that was wonderful. I did, well, we got a season out of that and then many movies of the week.
Was it hot under the turban?
The
Was it
turban, thanks for that. The
a thing?
latex conehead thing. We had
Yeah,
other
but it was.
names for them. I mean, they looked like, you know,
But was this after
dickheads.
Saturday Night Live had the
Oh
Coneheads?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We had all
What?
kinds of names for them. Yes, it was very hot. Plus, we were shooting north of where you are now.
Right.
So, Santa
Battle
Clarita,
Hills, folks. It's wonderful.
Lakeview Terrace, we were in, which isn't
Yes.
that far from you, and in the middle of summer. So I'd get back into my trailer and just want to. I just, you normally when you step into your trailer, you're like ripping your clothes off, going, "Oh, get me out of here!" And yet, and I'd want to rip off the head. I go, "Oh, Jesus!" Hold back. I got another couple of hours in this headpiece. So yeah, that was. But it was great. Ken Johnson was wonderful. He was our producer, creator of V, and came up with the whole concept. Fox had approached him to do this show, and at the time, Fox was very much about, well, they were more sitcom, they were more cops and robbers, and Ken Johnson, thought, what's interesting, that family you've got in the film, this was based on the Mandy Patinkin James Caan film of the same name. And there's a quick shot in one of the scenes of Mandy's character, the alien, walking away from his home, his suburban home, with the family waving at him. And Kenny went, I want to know about them. Let's elaborate on who those people, what it's been like, because it's
The San
5 years.
Franciscos.
The San Francisco, yeah. So that's how that became a thing, and just it was a gift, really a gift, and we're still all very close. We just had a reunion a few months ago of whoever, basically the whole family was there. They're all growing up. Lauren, who was 12 years old at the time, is an established lawyer. She's also doing soap operas, but she's, a lawyer, gorgeous. And Sean, we found he'd been working in forestry. He'd walked away from the business. Sean played my son. Yeah, it was wonderful to get together. Unfortunately, Gary Graham passed away earlier this year. A little older than I am, and as we all are climbing up the ladder to wherever we're going, or down, depending. Yeah, so yeah, more and more people I've worked with are, no longer. So,
Yeah. Except in reruns.
except in reruns, the gift of our métier. And I've had a gift. I kind of stepped away from the business, and then about 10 years ago, approximately, because I was going back up to Canada, my agent up there went, hey, if you're back, I was spending a lot of time with my parents as they got older, and she kind of put a fire under my whatever and got me working again, and I've just been until about a year and a half, about a year ago when things slowed down.
You're a major Christmas lady.
Hallmark, hello, yeah, that and Superman,
Clark Kent's mother.
Clark Kent's mother,
The
which
most
was also
glamorous Martha Kent ever.
right in the middle of COVID. I was up there. I did my quarantining. I think I quarantined like a month and a half, all told. If I added up all the time I had to, be someplace for 2 weeks through COVID. But yeah, it was that was amazing.
Well,
And other things, Riverdale. And,
I was thrilled to death to have you back in the Foo Dog family for our little film True Enough, which is going to go
oh
out
yes,
on the festival circuit.
how did that put Did it
It's
work? Did it go
wonderful.
together?
It
Oh, good.
really, really, I'm so pleased with it. And your performance, it, you know, that twist when people go at the end, they'll be like, oh,
Oh,
oh. Well, we're not going to say anything, folks. Watch
no.
out for it.
A lovable con.
A lovable con indeed, which is not a way to end this show. Um,
I thought it's a perfect thing to
I,
do.
I
To
would
end
say a
on.
lovable person. God knows you are, and all these 5 years that I've known you have just slipped by.
Yes, yes, yes.
Always leave them laughing, baby. Well,
At least
this has
me.
been
Well,
this has been a treat for you folks because I know it has been for me. Michelle is one of my favorite people in the world.
thank you.
We
I feel the
squished it.
same about you, mon cher. Mwah!
Bless you, bless you. This is Charles Dennis. This has been Paid to Dream. If you like the
Voila.
show, I haven't been saying to people, oh, there she goes. Go on, we're all going out trick or treating. Yeah, hold on. Let me get my little
There
disguise.
we go. You
If
have
you
candies.
like the
People actually.
show, number one, click at the end where it says like and tell your friends. And we'll see you soon. Bye bye.